Dragon's Den is open for business. This is the place where pitches can lead to riches. And 5 of Britain's sharpest business brains await a new batch of fledgling entrepreneurs. Joining them tonight.
I'm Emma Grede. I am a founder and serial entrepreneur, probably best known for my brands SKIMS and Good American.
A global fashion mogul returns as a guest dragon.
Welcome back, Emma.
Oh, I've been waiting in the wings.
I've built multiple businesses worth hundreds of millions of dollars. I've really changed the way the fashion industry looks at women of all shapes and sizes. It is amazing to be back in the den. I absolutely loved it last time, and so I just can't wait to see what is in store for me. I'm obsessed with the idea of who gets to be in business.
I'm trying to stop myself from crying because there's just something about you two.
And I love being able to help some of these entrepreneurs unlock their full potential.
Sometimes you just got to take a chance.
I'm looking for somebody with a single-minded focus on what it is that they want to achieve.
I'm just not quite sure that I believe that you and your team are the right team to do it.
I like problem solvers.
I need to purchase this immediately.
I think when you're a problem solver, you make the best founders and entrepreneurs. There's so many incredible businesses that have come out of this country.
Oh, that's some growth. Aye, aye.
And I really want to be part of the next one.
You deserve that somebody takes a chance on you.
Hi, I'm Elliot, and I'm from a small town in mid Wales. So my product will revolutionise how people store bikes.
Elliot already has a couple of ideal partners in mind.
We'd welcome investment from all of the dragons, but I actually think Touker, with his experience in retail and other cycling brands, would be fantastic. Also, Stephen, for his experience with marketing and the direct-to-consumer business as well.
I had one of these exact things pitched to me 15 years ago.
What is it then, Peter?
It's like a hook for a bike.
It's like a bike abattoir. What else could you put up there? I know a few people. Handbags. Yeah, that's what that's for, look. Nicked.
Hello, Dragons. I'm Elliot Tanner, owner and founder of Starched Products. I'm here today asking for £100,000 for 2.5% of my business. We design, manufacture and sell the Space Rail, an innovative, premium quality bike storage system that finally answers the question, how do you store more bikes in less space? Space Rail is wonderfully simple. It uses a rotating hook and a sliding rail to allow bikes to be stored closer together. For example, you could store 8 bikes, whereas before you'd only store 4. It's 100% UK made and has patents granted in the UK, EU and the US. Since trading began, we've had over 4,000 orders and now 80% ship worldwide. I expect to see revenues reach over £10 million within the next 5 years. My vision, with your help, is to become the #1 bike storage company in the world.
A space-saving storage system for bikes is the offering from inventor and entrepreneur Elliot Tanner.
So we've got sliding hooks that run on a rail. The hooks can rotate and spin. When there's no weight on them, they're static, so if you touch them with a bike wheel when you're trying to load it, it won't move. As soon as you put load on it, it's free to move, which then allows you to bring the bikes closer together. So you can draw them out and access the one you want to get to.
Elliot is seeking £100,000 in return for a 2.5% share in his business.
We sell a wall system, a ceiling system and an angle mount system, so you can fit the system wherever you want in your house, garage or shop.
His product is intended to be versatile, But will Elliot's storage solution for cycles prove to be the perfect fit for Emma Grede?
Elliot, I have to tell you, as a mother of 4 children who has a husband who absolutely loves an e-bike, I need to purchase this immediately.
Great, we can do a deal on one.
Thank you. I was hoping you'd give me a discount. So, how did you actually come up with it? What's your background? What did you do?
So I spent 10 years running my own one-man band research and development business, but I was doing it for other people. So, you know, I'd take their idea from concept, piece of paper, through design, prototyping, testing, patent application, find a supplier, manufacturer, and put it into production for them. And about 3 years ago, I was like, oh, I've done quite a lot for everyone else. It's probably time for me to do it for myself and prove that I can build a business. And now we've sold 25,000 bikes worth.
In 3 years?
2 years.
2 years?
Yeah.
Amazing. And so tell us about the journey of the last 2 years and where you are from a sales point of view.
First year, we turned over 85,000 and a net of 20. Year 2, 825,000 revenue.
Oh, that's some great. Wow.
Net of 200. This year we'll turn over 1.9 million with about 750 net.
750 net profit.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're printing
You
cash.
are killing.
Doing all right. It's doing all right.
What are you doing here? Because you've asked for 100k cash, but you clearly don't need cash because you're printing it. You've got a money factory at your house. So why are you here?
So this is all direct to consumer. So believe it or not, people come on our website, they purchase this from all around the world. We haven't even touched retail yet. I want help with that. I want help with your experience, your background. I want some guidance.
Elliot, congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm in the bike business.
I know you are.
And it is a disaster out there, as you probably know.
I know.
As far as bikes retail is concerned, the bike market peaked a couple of years ago.
Yep.
You couldn't get a bike and it's just collapsed for the whole industry.
Yep.
And I'm experiencing it. However, does not mean that accessories are not doing well, because people still own bikes and they want them stored.
Yes.
So what does one section, which is a 4-bike section, cost?
Sure. Well, can I give you the 8-bike, because that's our most popular item?
Yep.
So if it's a ceiling system, we sell it at 500 plus VAT.
Wow. So you're catering for what I call the 1% lycra boys. You know, the fanatics who've got a...
I'm not a fanatic, and I'd spend 500 quid buying this to start. Yeah. You know, I'm not a lycra boy, but I've got a couple of pretty expensive bikes. Yeah. My dad's e-bike, 3.5 grand, you know.
Yeah, but not everyone can spend 500 quid. And I know people spend thousands on bikes, but as a retail product at £500, you've got to be very selective where you put it.
There's certain bike shops I want to be into.
Give an example.
Yeah, so...
There's one in Kingston, which is quite famous.
Yes.
Yes?
Exactly, who I've probably already spoken to.
You have?
Yeah. We've started conversations about going in for retail with them.
Are you selling predominantly on an online marketplace at the moment, or are you selling predominantly on your own website?
Just on our website.
So you're not on online marketplaces as well?
We've done little bits on Amazon. We just have little bits on eBay, but it's less than a couple %.
And how are you driving sales?
Social media ads.
Okay, Meta, Google?
Yes, Meta, Google. Pinterest is fantastic.
Okay. What worries you? So you said retail.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that worries you in your business that's keeping you up at night, or that's a challenge at the moment?
I think just I've stepped out of my comfort zone. So, for example, with the marketing side of things, I'm having to decide what we spend on ads. I come as an engineer, I've got no experience of it. It's something I'm learning on the go. So I think there's certain elements within what the skills I've got that I'm missing, and I think that scares me because it's hard to make decisions when you don't know what you're doing.
Elliot, you've done well, haven't you? I mean,
Thank you.
There's no doubt that you've done well.
It blows my mind.
No,
like,
I think
literally
genuine. There's not a lot you can say. This does exactly what it says on the tin. You've done really well.
Yeah.
I think that you've got a great opportunity to make a lot of money. But that's not what just gets me out of bed every day, is just about the money. I have to love what I invest in And I'm thinking, how excited can I get? And I think, okay, some of the things you get excited about, okay, right, girls, this is what I've invested in today. And I go to rattle them off. They go, God, Dad, I've got to try that. Or Dad, I've got to... And I go, okay, but you've got to bear with me with this one. I've invested in a curtain rail with a hook on it.
Yeah, same thing.
And it's kind of, okay, what does that do, Dad? Oh, it hangs bikes.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go home and I'm going to go, oh, Dad, oh my God, that's been around for 15 years. You've got one. You bought one for us when we were 11.
Yeah.
What are you doing? You've got more money than sense. Yeah, but it's doing really well, girls. Listen, he's made a fortune. He's making 700,000 a year. And that's where I get to with this, is about how exciting is it, apart from the fact that it's so exciting about the money.
Yes.
And then you're asking for a lot of help here. You're saying, I'm not an expert. You've looked at Stephen as if you've fallen in love.
That's why he's annoyed.
When you talk about marketing, and here he goes, oh, wait, that's Stephen. As if he's the only guy that knows about marketing. And then when you talk to Touker about bikes, you're agreeing with him, no, bike sales, they're rubbish. Nobody's going to buy bikes. But your product relies on bikes to be used by bikes, right?
Yeah.
So it's really difficult, Elliot, this. And frankly, I'm just not hooked on your hook. It's not for me, so I'm going to say that I'm out, but I take nothing away from what you've done.
Thank you, Peter.
Elliot, hi, I'm Sara.
Hi, Sara.
I think you've got an absolutely brilliant business. But do you feel like it's just a bit of a fluke that you've done this well? Because you're talking like you feel as though it's just happened. I can remember when I was on year 3 of starting my business, and I think in year 3 we'd gone to about 2.3 million turnover, so almost the same.
Yeah.
And I really feel like, you know, if I could go back again knowing what I know, the knowledge I have now is so valuable to being able to get where I was probably going to get anywhere, but get there a lot faster.
I want to put a rocket ship up it.
I'm
Just
good.
send it off.
I'm good with the rocket ships. It is literally the exact. I know the exact journey. The doors to open, the levers to pull, and you are doing all the right stuff. You just don't know what you don't know yet. I can fill those gaps, but I've got to be incentivized to want to do that, because essentially the money's irrelevant. You don't need the 100 grand. The 100 grand doesn't make the difference. So I've got to look at what is it worth, the time that I need to put in, the energy I would need to put in. And I would be willing to do that and offer you all the money you've asked for 7.5% of the business.
Okay. Thank you very much.
I was thinking higher than that. You've got a great offer. Because I know what I can bring to the party.
I was thinking higher than that, but I was also balancing it out with what might you agree to.
It depends if you want a Mini or a Ferrari.
Ooh. Good job, I like you.
A Mini? You're calling Sara Davies a Mini?
I'll do it later, don't worry.
In this sector, I know, I didn't mean she's a Mini. I repeat, I'll take it back. In this sector, it depends if you want a Mini or a Ferrari.
He basically got backslapped. He made it worse.
I just made it a lot worse.
Make it worse.
Are you making an offer too, or not?
I'll wait. I'll wait. Just stay on the sidelines. I'm not out, that's for sure.
I thought Ferraris were fast.
Okay, Elliot. I'm gonna leave these lot chatting about Ferraris and Minis and whatever's of which I have no interest in whatsoever. What I am interested in your business.
Thank you.
I don't think it's accidental. I mean, you present as if you're kind of a bit bewildered about how this has all happened. That's actually not right, is it? Because you've had years of experience in developing product, and you've applied that knowledge to something that you want to do. I'm not at all surprised it's worked.
Thank you.
So I am going to offer you all of the money.
Mm-hmm.
I want 5% of the business.
Thank you. That's right. Thank you for the kind words as well. I put 100% into everything. If we're going to do it, I just put everything into it.
You can really, really tell, and I just want to get out of the way because you've got some good action happening on either side of me, and I just am not the best partner for this business. I have to be honest with you, and I wish you so much luck, but I'm out, and I'll be cheering you from the sidelines.
Thank you, Emma. That means a lot. Thank you.
You've got great offers. And if it's just offers you want, then you've got them. But I bet you come to me. and I come at a price. So I would offer you all the money for 10%, and I would reach 7.5% when I get my money back.
Thank you.
Gosh, came to me too quickly.
Do you want me to go and talk to the wall for a bit?
I'm sure there's a saying, you know, Stephen, and the last bit of it's about getting off the pot.
What's going through your mind?
It's a good question. There's a couple of things, really. It's really about the size of the opportunity, especially when this becomes popularized. You're going to be attacked from every side. And I wonder, and that's why I'm thinking, how do I get my cash out?
We're a profitable business.
Yeah.
We're doing well. When you put, more experienced people behind it, the true growth that you could generate just in direct to consumer through what we're doing, it could be huge. Sometimes we're seeing 20,
Okay,
30.
you know what? I get you. I understand. There's a couple of people that I really want to introduce you to that really understand the dark arts of return on ad spend. The other thing is that I just think sometimes in business, what you need is a bit of a mentor. Someone you can call, someone you can speak to, someone you can hang out with, come to their office, talk to them about issues, and a group of people that can support you because it's lonely. So I'm going to make you an offer. I'm going to make you an offer for the full amount of money for 10% of the business, and I will drop down to 5% when my capital is returned. So when that 100K comes home, I'll go back down to 5% of the business.
I'll match that.
And I will match the dropping to 5% as well.
And I don't have to match that, obviously, because I'm already at 5%.
So we've got everyone at 5%.
Got everyone dropping to 5% when their cash comes back, or Deborah's straight at 5%.
First of all, thanks for all your offers. I came in asking for 2.5%. And I've got a limit in my head of where I want to go to. Does anybody want to come down to 3%?
Elliot, I'll tell you, not for me. I didn't just chuck a number out. I thought long and hard, and I think I'm going to sit with 5%, I'm afraid.
Elliot, what's the deal? What's the deal that you're saying that you'd accept? Because I don't want to waste time.
For me, the limit is 3 or 4%.
If I invest at the 10% as basically a security to make sure that nothing goes awry, but if my capital is returned, I drop to 4, would that be an acceptable offer?
Yeah, I'm pretty confident you'll get your money back.
Okay, so that's my offer. I'll do that.
I'll do the same. 10 to start. Whenever I get my money back, 4.
Okay.
And if I say I'm 7.5, down to 3.
Can I ask one more question?
Go ahead.
Touker, would you start at 7 and then come down to 4 once you get your money back?
Makes no difference, really.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure they'll get one back really quickly.
Okay. I'd like to thank everyone for their offer. I'd like to accept yours.
Great.
Well,
That's great. No, we'll make this happen. All right?
Good. Thank you.
I told you you came for me.
Well done,
done.
Elliot.
well done.
Elation for Elliot, who, following a bidding war and some tense negotiations, leaves the den with £100,000 and the backing of a dragon who is never just along for the ride.
Look, I believe let him focus on creativity and then put him in front of all the big bike brands.
100%.
Absolutely.
This is great.
You'll do wonders with that. You'll do wonders with that.
Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. I'm super happy. I think Touker's going to take our business to the next level.
Do you want want some water? I'm gonna have a little. Hello, I'm Nitya. I'm 23 years old. I live in London and I moved here from Bangalore, India. I originally came here to study for 4 years, but after my bachelor's, I decided to drop out of my master's and start pursuing building this business.
Nitya has brought an assistant to help demonstrate her product in the den. But her biggest champions are over 5,000 miles away.
My family in India have always supported me all the way from day one. We've always watched Dragon's Den since we were kids, so it's really, come a full circle. Hello, Dragons. I'm Nitya, co-founder of Unpause. Imagine every single cell in your body on fire, sweating profusely and turning red completely unannounced. This is how some women would describe their menopause. These episodes are known as hot flushes. They can occur anywhere between 3 to 5 minutes, can happen 6 to 10 times a day for up to 4 to 8 years of a woman's life. These episodes aren't just uncomfortable. They can trigger a domino effect of symptoms like loss of sleep, loss of productivity, and loss of focus. Our flagship product, CoolZen, is a patent-pending smart wearable worn on the back of the neck. CoolZen is able to detect the onset of a hot flush episode and aims to provide relief using a localized cooling effect. CoolZen syncs with our companion app, where users can see trends and insights about their data. Our users have reported that CoolZen has been able to bring down the duration of a hot flush episode to under 45 seconds. We are here today seeking £100,000 in exchange for 2.5% equity in Unpause. Join us in our mission to help millions of women unpause their menopause. To show you how CoolZen works, we have Supriya here, one of our very first users and also one of our investors' wife.
A cooling device for menopausal women, worn on the back of the neck and intended to minimize the effects of hot flushes, is the brainchild of Nitya Dintakirti.
CoolZen is first powered on and connects automatically to the phone via Bluetooth.
Nitya is seeking £100,000.
And once the device is connected, Supriya places the device onto her neck.
In return for a 2.5% share of her company.
The therapy just turned on automatically whenever she has a hot flush episode.
The Dragons have always been admirers of innovation.
The device can also be triggered manually, either by using the app by pressing the button on screen or by pressing the button on the device itself.
But will a tech-savvy Peter Jones...
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Supriya.
...prove to be a fan of this particular product?
So, in essence, then, it looks like you've basically invented an air conditioning unit stuck to your neck.
Not necessarily. Yes, it cools down. But in our body, we have a lot of thermoregulatory hotspots or places in our body that are sensitive to temperature changes. The back of our neck are one of the most sensitive to any kind of change in temperature. It's not actually cooling the entire body down by
So what is it doing? Tell me what it is. Is there a fan inside there that's... What is it
Absolutely
doing?
not. We use a module called a thermoelectric module, which essentially gets really cold on one side and hot on one side when you pass current through it. So what essentially is happening is when the hot flush episode starts, you have this sudden spike of temperature. And what the device is able to do is automatically detect that sudden spike in temperature, which means that it starts cooling down.
Okay. And then why does it have to be... It looks quite big. You look a little bit like cyborgs.
Actually, it's Blade Runner, isn't it? Because they were plugged in at the back.
Dragon.
Actually, the reason for the size is one, battery, because we want it to have prolonged battery life. And second, because there's heat being generated on one side, we need to be able to capture that heat so the user doesn't feel it.
So I put it on the back of my neck.
Yeah.
It is slightly uncomfortable. Can you see a scenario where it could reduce in size?
Absolutely. Today, this product is, iPhone 1. That's where it is. So, and with very little capital and, very short time, this is where we got it.
I like your ambition. iPhone 1, I like that. That's the size of your ambition. Well done, you.
Thank you. So we absolutely are confident that we can get this to half the size, and hopefully in the future, we're able to work on it even more and make it something as seamless as a patch, where it's almost like sticking on, a Band-Aid where you don't feel it at all.
Netia, what's your background?
So I studied biomedical engineering at King's College London, and I graduated 3 years ago, and I started Unpause straight after I graduated university.
Okay, do you have any data that validates this technology that isn't anecdotal from customers? Do you have any sort of clinical trial data or anything else?
So at the moment, our device is classified as a general electronic device, like most other wearables in the market today. So it is CE and UKCA certified. We haven't done a formal clinical study yet ourselves. We have done pilot studies internally with users before we launch the product itself. But we are in conversations with a couple of NHS trusts to run a full-blown clinical study towards either the end of this year or early next year.
And you referenced we, so I assume there's a team of you.
Yes, absolutely. I also have a co-founder. He has experience in building healthcare companies. So he's already had a startup before this in fetal monitoring, and he exited that company, and after that we met and started Unpause together.
So this product, you designed it, you got the R&D, it's not off the shelf from China?
Absolutely not. This is made in our offices by ourselves.
Where's your office?
So I'm based in London, and most of my team and the R&D team, along with my co-founder, is based in India, where we have our own setup in terms of manufacturing. So we do everything in-house.
So where you are at the moment, how many, obviously with your valuation at 2.5 million, you've obviously sold a lot of these. So how many have you sold?
So we've sold close to 130 devices to date in the last 3 months.
130,000?
130 devices and a revenue of over £16,000.
Sorry, 130 units sold.
Yes.
Generating £16,000.
Yes.
And it's 2.5 million valuation?
Yes.
I knew you couldn't keep that smile going if you... So tell me about that. What's the valuation metric you've done? How have you calculated value?
A couple of reasons as to why we're asking for this value. Number one, the market itself. Menopause has always been traditionally looked at from a pharmaceutical lens or a supplement lens, and we believe that we're going to be one of the first companies to disrupt in the market with technology. So we are a category-creating product. Number two, I think we are the right team to be able to convert and build products that users want and bring to market and make it reality.
Okay, so you've just made the valuation up, basically. That's fine. Thank you.
Lydia, who else is delivering this sort of relief via this sort of method?
There are a few of them, but one very strong competitor, a company based in the US, they've raised over $50 million to date. They're a risk-based solution, which they do brand themselves slightly... Risk-based. So they brand themselves slightly differently, not specifically for menopausal women, but more as a personal thermostat.
Okay, so given how this one is nodding over here, I'm keen to hear a bit more about this competitor in the US, which you seem to know about.
I definitely do know the competitor in the US. I mean, first of all, congratulations, because I think it's so impressive that you stand here fresh out of university when you've got a device. I've had it on since you walked out and gave it to us. I don't find it uncomfortable, and I'm a person that's very easily irritated, so I'm kind of surprised. And I think that just sort of generally thinking about the lack of research, financing and solutions in this space, you're really, really onto something. But you know about your big competitor, right? You know that they're extremely well funded. Yeah. And I think as a biochemical engineer, I'm impressed that you've got this far. But how are you thinking about actually bringing this product to market?
So we have two main strategies. We want to go directly to our customer. We have a very lovely community of 3,000 to 4,000 women that we've built who have given their time and energy talking about what they would ideally want in a solution, testing these prototypes. So word of mouth and the fact that we have seen that every woman we speak to, she always brings 3 or 5 of her friends and says, hey, these guys are suffering from it too. Number 2, the biggest stakeholder in any healthcare space is a clinician. So that's who we also want to target and bring on board.
So you're going to actually try to get this to consumers through doctors?
Correct, yes.
So already that tells me that you're not really thinking about bringing this to market in quite the right way. Your competition is doing it entirely differently, right? So a direct-to-consumer platform going through more traditional wholesale, bringing it directly to consumers, because it's the person that's suffering that wants to get this, get their hands on it. You know, I think this is a really complex space because some women are actually going to their doctors and getting very little help in this space. And so you want to bypass the doctors and get straight to the sufferer so that this should be, this is a consumer-facing product to me. You need to figure out how you're going to get this in the hands of every woman all over this country. And it doesn't feel to me like you've got quite that far yet. Because, I mean, I think it's interesting that you've come out here asking for 100 grand when your competitors just raised 50 million. So £100,000, what are you going to do with that?
So marketing would be the biggest thing. Second, we have a very strong R&D and product development team, but we don't have that with, you know, any of the marketing or sales. We want to actually build out that team as well.
You know, it's clear that you've done a ton of research, you have a really interesting team, but I'd have rather you come out today and ask for 500 or 600 grand and tell me I'm going to spend, you know, 100,000 on the clinical trials, I'm going to spend 300 grand figuring out what V2 of this is, and then we're going to do some go-to-market trials, but you haven't said that today.
Our 100K is part of our larger fundraise.
Let me just finish, because I think this is really, really important. The beautiful thing about what is happening here is you are picking up a ton of information, right? And if you're smart as an entrepreneur, you will gobble all of that information up, because this here with these dragons is an amazing opportunity for you to think about the future of your business and what you're doing.
She mentioned it's part of a bigger, so what's the bigger raise?
1 million.
Oh, here we go.
I mean, but even that, even 1 million. 1 million for what? Then how are you going to deploy those funds? I just don't think that you've come and told a compelling story. And I really don't think that you are in the running when you think about where the competition is right now. I believe in the device. I'm just not quite sure that I believe that you and your team are the right team to do it. And so for those reasons, I'm out, but I really wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
So I'll tell you where I am. I think I want to say well done, because honestly, it's extraordinary what you've done. It's really amazing. So what I know for sure is that you are going to be a success in your life. That's something I bet the farm on. And Emma was savage. She was a bit too savage with you. She said she didn't believe in you. Now, I believe in you. However, I believe in the competition as well. And unfortunately, I believe in the competition a lot more, because I've firsthand heard the accounts of how much of an ugly, brutal, vicious bloodbath this wearables game is. And the only way you end up winning in this game is with extraordinary talent, but also, unfortunately, with extraordinary capital. So with all of this in mind, I'm going to say that I'm out.
Thank you, Stephen. Thank you.
Let's see. Look, I really admire what you've done, and this is a great. It's what I love about people coming up with ideas, and this is great. But there's a really big issue here for me, and it's where I started. And I wasn't really messing around when I said that this looks like a sort of a stick-on sort of air conditioning unit. I think your issue is the size of the product. You need to get this into your R&D team in India, back in there, and minimize this as quickly as possible. And then you could be highly valuable. But until that day comes, I'm sorry, it's not an investment, so I'm out.
Good to you. I mean, I think you can tell Pete is a bloke and doesn't suffer from these hot flushes, because every menopausal woman I know would happily stick this on the back of her neck if it was going to provide the relief you've talked about. Even if it was bigger than this. But offering 2.5% of the company, you are going to go through so many rounds of fundraising. By the time I would exit this business, I would have this much of the company, be totally disincentivized to want to put my time behind it to help this go anywhere, because I would be diluted so much. It just isn't appealing for me as an investor. So I'm really sorry, but I'm out.
Thank you.
I think you're brilliant. I think everything about me, exactly as Stephen says, tells me you've got success in you. And you know what? I think it could be this. There is a but. There's two things that concern me. One is exactly as Sara identified, you're going to need a lot of cash. Dilution is going to be huge. I think fundraising is a big issue, and this is a slightly different one. I feel like most of your business sits in India. I don't do any domestic flying, and I will only do maybe one long-haul flight a year. So it feels slightly odd to me. I like to feel a business. I like to get in there and understand where it's going and what it's doing. So it's not an investment for me for the reasons I've outlined, but best of luck and well done on
Thank you so
coming
much.
up with
Thank you,
this.
Deborah.
But I'm afraid I'm out.
Thank you.
Well, how do you feel?
That's a tough question. Mixed feelings, but yeah.
Mixed feelings.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing that everyone's pointed out is you need a lot of cash. That's the problem. Now, if you came here and said, I've got a very simple product, and this is what it does, and I've turned over £500,000, but I need to accelerate it, I'd say I've got a solution for that. Because one of my investments, we've created 42 videos for the whole journey in the menopause. And that goes from exercise to medicine to sex, everything you can imagine. And our plan in the next 3 months is to collect 1 million data on women with menopause. Perfect match, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
But you've come in here asking for 100,000 for 2.5%. What, you know, I'd want at least 25%.
We'll offer it.
You know, of what I think I can bring to the party. And I wouldn't want to insult you. So, I'm not going to invest, and I'm out. However, if you want to talk to me about putting this product onto our menopause platform, I'm very willing to do that.
Thank you so much, Touker. I'll really take you up on that offer.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
Good luck.
Thank you.
No deal for Nitya. But while the biomedical engineer turned businesswoman may have failed to gain investment, she isn't leaving the den downhearted.
This is definitely not the end for Cools, and of course, Touker offering help and support is really nice, and we would love to take him up on that offer.
Hi, my name's Brendan. This is my younger brother Jaden. We're from Birmingham and we're in business together.
Let's give it our best.
Yeah, smash it.
Being brothers in business definitely comes with its challenges, but more so, a lot more strengths. We know each other inside and out, and I think that's the only reason why the business is where it is today.
Do you think the guest dragon has any interest in outdoor cooking?
Do you like hot sauce?
Love. I like hot. I buy hot sauce and seasoning wherever I go, all over the world. Yeah. I'll always find a market or a little thing.
Only crazy there's over £1 billion in net worth just sitting there.
Yeah. Ever since I've been in school and college, I've always been entrepreneurially driven.
Jaden is definitely the one with the business brain here. I work on all the marketing and the branding and things like that. And I think we're a good duo.
Absolutely.
Hello, Dragons. My name's Jaden Manders.
And my name is Brendan Manders.
And today we're seeking £90,000 in exchange for a 20% share in our business, Lumberjacks Food Company.
Lumberjacks started in 2020 with 3 simple things: a brotherly bond, £100 each, and the drive and determination to work tirelessly to grow the business.
So after a lot of hard work and determination, Lumberjacks is now stocked in over 60 garden centres, farm shops and butcheries all across the United Kingdom. We're selling seasonings and sauces within the barbecue niche. With one of our most recent garden centre stockists quoting an almost triple boost in turnover since 2019. We also sell a range of products at food festivals and markets direct to consumer, where we get our best margin. The UK barbecue and outdoor living industry is a growing sector, with 9 out of 10 UK households owning and using a barbecue.
So with the barbecue and outdoor living industry growing massively, now is the time to invest in a brand that could become the market leader.
So Dragons, grab your ticket to Flavour Town.
A range of barbecue-inspired seasonings and sauces is the offering from brothers Jaden and Brendan Manders.
So you have our three sauces and some tortilla chips. The red one is our Hank's hot sauce. We've then got a backyard barbecue sauce and a mango and chilli.
The duo are seeking £90,000.
That is you on there, isn't it? That is you. That is definitely you. In fact, he's almost wearing the same shirt.
In return for a 20% share of their business.
So I urge you to try the hot sauce because it's a Louisiana style, so it's vinegar-based, which moulds it a little bit.
The hot sauce is so good.
Their product samples might have already raised temperatures in the den, but the Dragons are poised to turn the heat up even further. And Sara Davies is first to fire off some questions.
Brendan, Jaden, can I just say that picture was really brilliant?
Thank you.
I mean, that was gold star. Yeah, it really was. So, when did you say you started the business?
2020.
2020.
Yeah. So we started during the pandemic. We went on a walk that Boris would allow you to do where we could go together. Jaden, at the time, being an aspiring pilot, wanted to start a business so he could go get his pilot's licence. So we had a bit of a conversation. We pitched many ideas to each other.
We did loads of stuff. We made candles, car boot sales, everything beforehand.
Then we basically, because our granddad had this Brit-built barbecue, we'd all fight over his chicken legs because he'd do really crispy skin on the chicken, put beer on them and stuff. And then I pitched the idea to do the seasonings. Started with just the barbecue rub. Back then we didn't even have a website, but we launched the product, built up a bit of hype online. And then,
And we made 100 to start with. And then we would just message people on Instagram, asking them to PayPal us money. So we'd send them a barbecue seasoning, and somehow people did. And then we've evolved the business to what you guys can see today.
Love it. So talk me through the numbers then. What was that first year like?
So first year's turnover, £5,700 and a net loss of £11,000. Year two, we turned over £29,500 with a net loss of £6,500. In year three, we turned over £82,000 with a net profit of £8,000. And our current year to date, we've turned over £70,000 and we're projecting to do £220,000 by the end of the year with a £33,000 net profit by the end of the year. And our 2-year projection, next year we're hoping to do £450,000 and a £59,000 net profit. And the year after that, £875,000 and a net profit of £140,000.
I mean, I'll let you just go there, even though I hadn't asked that question, because I could tell you've spent ages memorising them numbers, and you're like, the sooner I can get them out, the sooner they've written them down, the sooner I can stop stressing. It's like doing a speech at a wedding, isn't it?
It is.
I've got that out the way now I can have a drink.
Absolutely.
we've been going down even driving here in the van, we was like, just punching numbers out to each other.
Remember the numbers, remember the numbers. What's the year 3 gross profit?
Yeah.
Well, that's brilliant. You've done great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So where are you making the products?
So we're from Birmingham, we've got a small warehouse there. That's where we make everything.
And so how does that work? You come up with a recipe and you physically make it, or is somebody making it for you?
I'm big on doing everything in-house, whether that's marketing, manufacturing, anything. So we'll come up with a flavour between us, lots of back and forth. Once we've finalised the recipe, we then make it into big drums, fill the tins, shrink wrap them, date them, do the necessary paperwork, and then they go on the shelves.
And how many people have you got working in that?
So it's just me and my brother. We do have a small team that help us direct to consumer. I have about 2 to 3 people where we need them. So because we do a lot of shows over a weekend.
So sorry, you're actually filling the tins?
Yeah.
The 2 of you are doing that? I love that. Yeah, I love it too. I love it.
Guys, How old are you?
I'm 21.
You're 21?
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 31.
31, okay, so you're 10 years apart. Yeah. I work with my brother too. And it does work well because our brains are just completely different, but obviously you have this binding force of trust. Your parents, what do they do? Where do you come from?
So we're from a single parent background. There's actually 2 other siblings in our family. So my mum raised us on her own. Sorry.
It's okay. Take your time.
I'll just continue with the story there. So our mum raised us on her own. So we come from a council house background. She's a healthcare assistant, so she's always worked her hardest. We've always had nice Christmases, nice birthdays. So the work ethic in our families, right, go out there and get it. Yeah. And then, yeah, so there we go. And then we've sort of obviously been a very tight-knit family, me and Brendan have always been together. Yeah, and then we've just got such, I could just beam it, like, we've got such good work ethic and determination.
No, you don't need to beam it, because it shows. Some people just have that sort of life force, and you can tell that this isn't just a game to them, this isn't just a hobby, they're really fighting for something.
Yeah.
And that's really important, because business is hard, and it takes a certain type of person to persist in the face of the inevitable adversity. Yeah. And so one of the things I always like to check is the character of the people that I'm investing in, and I think, based on everything you've said, that's a huge, huge tick from me, a huge tick. So well done.
Thank you.
Brendan and Jaden, I love the energy.
Thank you.
And it's a family business. Let me just ask you a question. Have you been approached by any big supermarket chain?
Not at the moment. So we were, to begin with, very anti-supermarket because we were doing very, very well in the garden centres and the farm shops. Brilliant margins for us. But we recently did the farm shop and deli show, and it just opened our eyes a little. Everyone was saying to us they need to go on the supermarket shelves, and I think this is where we might need a bit of help.
So if you went into a supermarket and looked at like for like, how do you stand there on price?
So, at the moment, it's quite a premium product. Everything that you see retails for £6. It currently costs us around about £1.30 to make the product at the moment. We can smash that way below £1. So there is the opportunity to bring the RRP down in order to get into the supermarket.
You said you were 21, right?
Yes.
You're brilliant.
You're brilliant.
Brilliant.
I've been watching Dragon's Den.
I'm just sitting there. I've got a 21-year-old daughter, and I'm sitting here listening to you, and I'm just taken back. Seriously. I mean, you are one of the brightest 21-year-olds ever to enter this den.
Thank you so much.
Do you want to hear the funniest thing ever?
Please.
In year 11, he won the Bill Gates Award to be most likely to become a millionaire.
Yes, yes. I love it.
Thank you, thank you.
It's gonna happen.
So, at what point do you realise that making it yourselves is not going to work because you need capacity?
Yeah, and I think should the business grow to a point, we would always have to look at going down maybe the co-pack route, because you know, if we was to get into supermarkets and things like that, then it may become unrealistic for us to do that in-house. We're filling a large capacity now with just me and my brother.
So at the moment, you've given some predictions. Do you believe that under your present premises that you can grow it to 800,000 a year where you are now?
I believe so, yes, purely because seasonings being one of our biggest products, the seasonings are actually quite simple to make.
Right.
And at the moment, we have no machinery, so it's all done manually. So there's a huge scope here. Machinery, not only would it lower the cost of production, we can then output more, hence still keeping it in-house. So I'm not dead against a co-packer, but I would always try and use it as like a last resort.
Jada, Brendan, your backstory really resonates with me. And I know this market really, really well. Obviously, having invested in Levi Roots with Reggae Sauce. This is really tough though, because I think it's a really tough business. And I'd like you to really urge you to go and look for that co-packer and work with a co-packer to grow it. Because even some of the big brands it's all outsourced, it's volume play. So sadly, I'm not going to want to invest in this business, but I also am not investing knowing that you're going to go on to better things. So I'm going to say that I'm out and wish you the very, very best.
Thank you.
Guys, you might remember I invested in a business not overly dissimilar for this in my very first season. And it's a really, really tough market. They were doing the same model as you. They were Mactock. They were going from a farm shops, doing a lot of the food festivals and wanting to build up and get into the supermarkets, which required a massive shift in their manufacturing, how they brought to market. And we worked on it for 5 years before we ended up giving him his shares back. Because I felt like I'd done everything I could on that journey. It was really difficult. And so from a personal perspective, this is just not a journey I feel like I want to go on. So I'm sorry, guys, I'm out.
No problem. Thank you.
Guys, I think you're both great, you know?
Thank you.
However, I look at the business, you know, and I look at, will I ever get my money back? And I think
Yes.
what you've actually shown me here is I'll probably get it back in 10 years' time. I've never invested in something like this, and I know it's tough. And I don't see how I can really help you. So I'm out.
No problem. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Silence is usually good, by the way.
So the reason I'm pausing is because my heart is saying, you guys are great, I'd love to work with you. I think there's lots that I can help you with from many different perspectives. And then my head is saying, you know, from an investment standpoint, is this something that I'm like deeply interested in? And the two really matter for me. But unfortunately, I'm not that passionate about source. So as an investment opportunity, it's not for me today, so I'm going to say that I'm out, but I wish you the very, very best. And
Thank you so much.
Don't know
Thank
you, but I'm very proud of you.
I really appreciate it. Thank you.
So, guys, you've heard all these lovely words, and then you've seen some dragons go out. So it must be a little confusing. But let me tell you where I am. Both of you got big success in front of you. I'm not convinced this is the uber success. And actually, even if you hit the numbers that you're looking at, I'm probably looking at maybe doubling, maybe my money over the next 5 years, which in terms of opportunity, that sounds like a lot, but we have lots of opportunity to put our money in places, you know, and we can see some really, really big growth. You've got success ahead of you, so I don't worry for you. Sometimes people stand in the den and I worry for them. I don't worry for you. You know, you've got it. But this isn't it for me, I'm afraid. So I'm out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And so there was one. You know, I listened to everything that you two said, and you know, I kind of agree with every dragon that is sitting up here right now. This probably is not a space that particularly interests me, gets me up and excited in the morning. And you know what? I look at you two right now and I could find 20 flaws in this business. I think the packaging needs work. I think you need to move to a co-packer. I think there's a million things that you could do to really optimize and turn it on. But I think at the end of the day, sometimes, just sometimes, it's not necessarily about whether or not I can see an immediate return in my money. Sometimes there's this thing that we say, you know, in the US, it's about paying it forward. And sometimes you just got to take a chance because the two people standing in front of you feel way too familiar. I sat and listened to you, single mum, the same over here. And I think about myself at your age, actually 21 and 31, which were real distinctive periods for me in my life. At 21, I was like, I just need to get out of where I am and like move forward in life. And at 31, things had started happening for me. And in between, I had some people that believed in me and gave me a little bit of money. And so, with all that being said, and I'm trying to stop myself from crying, because there's just something about you two that just makes me like, caught up. So I'm gonna give you the 90,000. I'm gonna give you it for what you asked, the 20% of your business, because I believe in the two of you. And you deserve that somebody takes a chance on you. So this is my opportunity just to pay it forward, and we'll do some great business together. And if it's here, or if it's somewhere down the line in the future, I don't really care. But I actually do care about you two, and that's what matters.
Thank you.
So you got your investment. There's your money.
We got a deal?
We'd like to accept the offer.
I wanted to clap then.
Well done.
Well done, Emma.
I'm coming in for a cuddle, because otherwise we will.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Bliss for the brothers from Birmingham,
I'm really proud of you.
Thank you so much.
Well done. You're going to be great.
who leave the den with £90,000 and the backing of a dragon with the expertise to get their sauces and seasonings business really cooking.
We did it, mate.
Congratulations, Emma.
Do you know, that was beautifully articulated.
It was.
That was lovely.
I couldn't let them walk out without a deal.
Oh, what just happened?
I know, I still can't believe it.
I just honestly can't thank Emma enough for taking a punt on us. We will work our backsides off to be able to make sure she gets the money back, and we take this business to the highest of heights.
Yeah, it's just surreal.
Next time on Dragon's Den.
I want to tell you a story about how one bite changed my life.
Everybody has their own opinion. I mean, the fact that Sara's obviously deluded that I don't add more value.
Listen, I could pretend, but I love it.
You are actually individually the definition of human beauty.
Well, you got 10%, and I'm wondering, do I undercut them or not?
It's the only chance you got to get it.